Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Jason and I am your watch guy today. Today we've got Pagani Design in for review. We've actually had this watch on the channel for unboxing a while ago and I had some quality control issues with it. So in the video you saw that I arrived with the link, not broken but unassembled basically near the clasp. So that issue I fixed myself. Pretty easy to just pop a link back in. So after I finished the unboxing of it and started wearing it, the same day actually, this happened. Don't know if you can quite see that. That's the clasp that came with it. The actual little holder there on this side just pinged off, and then obviously the rest of it fell out. So I contacted them. I bought this one from Trendy Men's Watch Store, so I contacted them and told them what had happened, said I needed a replacement. So they sent me a replacement. Unfortunately, the first replacement they sent was the wrong replacement, so they sent me another replacement. So as you can see, it's all fitted up nicely, and I've been able to wear it a little bit. I've had it on wrist long enough for me to be comfortable to give you a review of it. I don't want to review something that I haven't been able to wear correctly, so that's what today is. Now, if you wanted to pick this watch up, I have linked Trendy Men's Watch Store in the description. That's where I bought mine from. Usually a good service. They sorted me out. Obviously, I understand that problems happen, things happen in manufacturing, so it is what it is. I'm just glad that they sorted it out in the end. Without further ado, let's turn this camera around and let's get into the review. So this is Pagani Design's answer to the Black Bay. Well, that is also in dispute because obviously this case is actually quite a thick one. So the way that I've looked at it is that it's more of a Black Bay homage in a Pelagos case. Really weird one, let's be honest, but it's nice that they haven't just gone for a straight homage. They've just, mixed it up a little bit. I quite like it myself. I think the design is quite nice. Now, let me talk to you about the dimensions of this watch, because obviously that is going to define the wearability of it. It is 42 millimeters in diameter. However, if you measure it just the case alone, it'll be 41 millimeters here to here, which actually means that it'll wear nicer. It'll wear smaller than it looks. So obviously looking down at the bezel here, you'll see a 42 mil watch, but on wrist it will feel like the 41, which would suit people who don't have the biggest wrists in the world. I think that would give a more universal feel to this watch. Lug to lug, it comes in a 49.8 millimeters. I always say that 50 millimeters is my turning off point. 49.8, it wears quite nice actually. Female end links, which helps quite a bit, and this bracelet is actually well made. It fits quite well, so that is also another bonus. It is 14.4 millimeters thick, almost at that 15 mil mark. So as I say, it is a chunky fella on wrist. It's definitely not a dress watch, definitely airs towards that dive style. I say airs towards that dive style, I mean it's definitely well within the dive style range. These lugs are 22 millimeters wide, which means you can definitely pick up a lot of straps to swap onto this one if you don't want this bracelet. Personally though, I think this is definitely one of Pagani Design's better bracelets on the market at the minute. Now it is packed with an NH35 movement, an old workhorse of a movement. I quite like the NH35 because it keeps a lot of costs down and it enables brands to do things like this. Sell this type of watch at this type of price. Speaking of price, one thing that I've just realised, I haven't noted the price yet. This is available in the Aliexpress June sale, the summer sale. It'll be £83.75. And I think that's the best time for you to get this watch. So if you're watching this now and you think I really want it, then go to AliExpress through my affiliate link in the description, click add to basket, and then wait until the 21st when the sale goes live and then buy it. That way you'll get the discount that you want. I mean, everyone wants a discount, don't they? You don't want to lose money on something. Now, the casing is all 316L stainless steel, as you'd expect, but the levels of finishing on this one are much better than expected from a Pagani Design. As you can see down the side of this one, very deep brushed finish, but it is all uniform. It is actually quite well finished. I really like it, to be honest. Down this side is the exact same. Now we have brushed finishing, circular brushed finishing on the tips of the lugs. However, we do have a really nice chamfered polished edge down the side of the watch, which again is really nice. As we move on to this crown here, it is a screw down crown and is signed with the Pagani Design logo. Easy to get hold of with the coin edge finish on the side. One really nice thing is that they have this red tip on the edge of the crown. Obviously the NH35 is a hand winding hacking movement. First position is for the date, second is for the time. I really like the red accent on this one. However, I do believe that they fit the same red ring on the blue and black variant. So that's why I opted for the red, because I thought it'd set it off much nicer, which, to be fair, it has. As we move to the back of the watch, you can see there is a screw down display case back. We have all the usual information around the outer edge of that case back, and you can see the reliable NH35 ticking away in there. Now another talking point will be this bezel. Pagani Design are always hit and miss with the bezels. I've had really good ones, like my Hulk homage, and I've had really bad ones, like the 50 Fathoms homage that I unboxed the other day. This one is a 60 click unidirectional bezel. There's a really nicely finished coin edge finish on the outer edge of the bezel, and that makes it really easy to grip hold of, really easy to use also. Now there is a little bit of play in it, but I think this is an acceptable amount, to be honest. As you can see there, it's not the worst, but it's certainly not the best. It's not sticking to the exact point that you want it to, so it definitely needs improvement, but it is better than the usual Pagani Design bezels. Now it is a 60 click. We also have really nice numerals designed into the bezel that accents that red really well, and the red bezel also accents this crown very nicely also. We have numerals at the 10, 20, 30, 40 and 50 minute marks with batons at the rest. We do have a 15-minute dive indicator to the right hand side here, up to 15 minutes, which is nice to see. Again, I like dive indicators on watches. I don't know why, but I do, because I'd never go diving, but I do like them. This is a slightly domed sapphire crystal. As you can see there, the distortion, only ever so slightly domed, but it does play well into the shape of the bezel on this one. I actually really like this crystal. It is sapphire crystal, as you'd expect again from Pagani. That's their motif. Now altogether, this casing provides the watch with 100 meters of water resistance, which is the standard for Pagani Design watches. They pretty much all have 100 meters water resistance. However, they have recently started releasing them with 200 meters. I don't think anyone's tested that yet though, so we'll wait to see. Now as we move in to the dial on this watch, you can see that it's a really nice crosshatch type of design on it. It really does play well with the light. We have applied indices throughout the dial. We have squares throughout with a nice golden border, aside from the batons at the 6 and 9, and obviously the triangle up at the 12 o'clock. Really well accented on the dial there, and very well accented by the rest of the features of this watch. As you can see, there's a really nice minute track running around the outer edge of this watch. You can see it painted in gold there. That accents the gold tones of the watch very well. I quite like how that plays with it, to be honest. Now we do have a date window at the 3 o'clock. I don't know if that was the right decision, because it kind of breaks up the dial a little bit too much for me. If they were going to do a date window, I'd have put it at the 6 and put a baton up here at 3 to keep the symmetrical type of design to the watch, but unfortunately we have that date window. That may be a downside to using the NH35 in this one. Obviously that's a 3 o'clock date. Now as we move on to the handset, you can see that is a snowflake style handset, as you'd expect from a Tudor homage. They again are accented in the same way as the indices. However, I do think that there's a deeper tone to the handset than there is to the indices on the dial. I feel like the handset's a little bit darker than the indices, which isn't the best sign. I'd like them to have been colour matched completely. We also have a gold tone to the polished outer edge of the hands, which again plays nicely with the rest of the design. Finishing off the dial, we have the Pagani Design logo printed at the 12 o'clock and the information down here above the 6 automatic water resistance. And then just here at the 6 o'clock between the batons, we have Japan movement, obviously indicating that NH35 in the back of the watch. Now let's talk about the loom. Let me get these lights off and we'll see how they're doing with this one. So here you can see the loom shot on the Black Bay homage. Now the loom pip up at the 12 o'clock isn't very good. It's fading quite quickly actually. The rest of the loom on the handset and the indices I'm actually okay with. For less than £100 I think this is okay. They've spread the loom quite evenly, which isn't usual for Pagani Design, as you probably know. Now I'm not saying that this loom is brilliant. I'm not saying that it's up there with Seiko's or anything like that. What I am saying though is that it is definitely an improvement on previous models, which is always a good thing to see. I think I'd be alright with this one. I'd be happy with this standard of loom. Now as we move on to the bracelet of this watch, I have actually already complimented it in the first part of this video. This female end link, the one that's sat on its lonesome here, obviously the rest of them are built into 3-piece. This one sits to move on its own, which really does help the fit of the watch. Now this is a fully stainless steel bracelet. We have fully brushed links on this one. It is a riveted style bracelet and those rivets are separate pieces to the rest of the bracelet itself, which is really nice to see. We have a polished edge on the outer side of this one. Now the clasp is fully brushed with the Pagani Design logo. It is a fold out milled clasp with double pushes, 3 levels of micro adjustment, which is standard if not just below par. The clasp is now actually quite good. We have a dive extension on this one too. Now obviously I can't give the bracelet full marks because I did have issues with mine. The clasp falling to pieces being what let it down. However, I am quite glad that they fixed that and sent me out a new clasp to fit to this one. But one other thing that I would like to mention is that it's not always easy to fit a piece to a watch. I mean, for me, perfectly easy. I've got all the tools. I know what I'm doing. I'll fit it straight away. However, if this was someone who's just bought their first watch, then they'd be a bit stuck, wouldn't they? So that is a nice segue into my moan section, I think. However, let me just pop it on wrist first. It's way too often that I stop myself playing with watches, you know. Ooh, could have been worse. Could have screamed like a girl. Right. Let's finish off this review. Let's get it on wrist. It is a bigger watch. As I have mentioned, it is quite chunky on wrist because of the size of it, the thickness of it. But that end link does wonders for how comfortable this watch is on wrist. I think that was a real winning idea from Pagani Design, or a real winning decision from them. I think that saves this watch quite a bit, to be fair. It is a bigger watch, as I say, 42mm. However, it does feel like a 41 on wrist due to the smaller case size. It's actually quite a nice one to wear. It gets a lot of looks. People quite like it, actually. Obviously, we don't owe that to Pagani Design, but they have carried this look quite well. Now, the moans. The loom is better, not good. I would like to see more improvement from them. However, we are still, at the moment, under the £100 mark. This was, however, released as a Pagani Design's premium type of line. So they are upping the prices. However, they're not upping the levels enough, in my opinion. I do think that they're upping their levels. I just don't think it's enough to justify the price jump. Now, the bezel is slightly misaligned. I can live with that. This loom pip up at the top, I wouldn't have put it in. I'd have just left that out because it doesn't really do much for the loom. And yeah, it kind of just ruins how nice that bezel looks, I think. This aluminium bezel would look perfect without that loom pip. I think that those type of loom pips really do cheapen the design. Now, the crown on this one looks really nice because it accents that red. However, I do think that is a downside, that if you pick another colour, you still get that red crown. I think it should be colour matched. And finally, this clasp. Now it is all fixed, all sorted, but it was quite a letdown that I had to wait about 2-3 months to wear this watch. I just wished Pagani Design or their vendors would step up their levels of quality control. I am kind of glad that they don't send me preferential treatment watches, you know, like ones that they've checked over and ones that they've okayed, and then send you guys a load of crap. At least I get the same standard as you, which is preferential when you are reviewing a watch. Now, personally, I haven't had much experience with other Black Bay homages or other Pelagos homages, Tudor homages, so it's very easy for me to say that this is the best one that I've had in, or the best one that I've experienced, but I do think Pagani Design have done quite well with this. I think for £83 it's a bargain. However, I wouldn't advise buying it full price, which is around 113, 110 maybe. I think wait for the sale, get it for 80 quid, you'll be quite happy. I'd have been quite happy getting this for 80 quid, to be honest. So guys, there is my review on the Pagani Design Tudor homage, I guess. I can't really call it a Black Bay homage, and I can't really call it a Pelagos homage. In fact, I probably will in the title just for the clicks, but that's the game, I guess. In all fairness, after everything was fixed with it and after I got the replacement clasp and was able to wear it on wrist for a good while, it's actually quite a nice watch. And out of all of the Pagani Design premium watches that I've seen, the higher priced ones, this is probably my favourite. Either this or the Seamaster is my favourite. In fact, they've just released a new Seamaster homage, a new updated one. And it looks really good. I just saw it on James's channel on his watch reviews. I might have to get one of them in, because it is quite pretty. So guys, if you want to pick this one up, as I say, my advice is to go to the affiliate link in the description, click that, press add to basket, pick which one you want first, obviously, add to basket, and then wait for the sale, which starts on the 21st of June. I'm probably going to make a video for that too, like my top 10 of that sale. Hopefully you pop back and check that out also. Thank you for watching this, guys. Please remember to subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next one.